What do you do when the power goes out? Are you prepared? Let's find out. Light that candle. There you go, that'll help. What's up? This is Richie and Jamie from the Very Wild YouTube channel, and tonight we're gonna show you what to do if the power goes out. And we're also gonna give you some tips and tricks to make sure that if it ever does, you'll be prepared. So everything that we have and everything that we use and everything that we're used to is plugged in. Everything, man. We really take power for granted, and it can go off at any second. So it's really smart to just be prepared for that. That way you're a little ahead of the game when, God forbid that ever happens. It's wild, man. And if you're not prepared for it, you know, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Like it can really be a tough time. About 10 years ago, we were living back east in New Jersey. We weren't living together yet. We were still with our families, and we got hit with this crazy Hurricane Sandy. I think it was 2012, almost 10 years ago. Crazy, right?
That's
Seems
wild.
like yesterday.
Yeah.
And man, my family lost power for 11 nights.
It's bad.
11 nights, no power. And this is New Jersey. We're talking late October, 30 to 40 degrees. Some nights it was dipping under the freezing mark. It was bad, dude. It was crazy. We just weren't prepared, man.
Right.
No generator, no propane heaters, nothing like that. But I learned a lot during those 11 nights, and came up with some good stuff to stay warm and stay fed and make food and make coffee and all the little things like that. So just wanted to share some stuff with you guys, and maybe it'll help you out if you ever lose power for 11 nights, which I pray you don't.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. All right, so the power's out. First things first, what do you need?
Light.
You gotta see, man, or you're gonna break something, hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Like you gotta get some light. So flashlights, light some candles. We really think it's smart. We, in our house anyway, we keep a flashlight in the same spot where we both know where it is at all times. We know it works, there's batteries in it. That's the one we reach for first. So that way you can pretty much get there in the dark and know it's there.
Yeah.
You'll probably most likely have your cell phone on you. So don't forget about that flashlight.
Yep.
Get to where you got to get to find your flashlight and your emergency kit. We'll talk about what to put in your emergency kit a little bit later, how to build one for yourself. But first things first, light this place up. All right, so you got some light. Everything's lit up. You can now take some time to kind of assess the situation, figure out what's going on. Text a neighbor, hey, is your power out too? Like, is it just me? Or is something wrong with the breaker? Look outside, is the street dark? You know, that's a good sign that the power's out all over the place. And then it just basically becomes a waiting game because you don't know how long the power is going to be out. So if you have cell phone service, you could try to get in contact with either your local power company's website or, you know, actually call them. Maybe they can give you some sort of clue. But odds are you're just in for a little bit of a wait, man, you know?
Yep.
Comes a waiting game. So what do? You got to just
off your phone.
Yeah, you want to try to conserve your cell phone as much as you can and keep yourself busy with some other stuff. You could play some board games. Here, take everything I got. You got everything. Go ahead. I'll make it rain on you. Make it rain. You can read a book. What else can you do? Play the guitar. He's gonna put on a rock concert for you people. I have an audience of one. Thank you for the lighting crew. Thank you. This next song is from Alice in Chains. It's called Rooster. So yeah, you want to just try to keep yourself busy any way you can, really. I know it can be boring and stuff, and we're so addicted to our phones. I know that's a tough habit to break, but like if you can't stop watching Where We Wild videos on YouTube, you know, I get it. And there's stuff you can do to keep that phone charged. So I guess the first thing would be those power banks that we use, battery packs. You keep those charged. They have a lot of charges in them, each one, as long as you keep them charged. Yeah. And we charge ours all the time because we always use them for other things. So they're good to have. Yeah. You know, we have a hand crank charger you can buy where, you know, you're going to be working for that charge, but, you know, it's just always going to work. Yeah. Just slowly but surely. And the other thing, you can use your car. When the power goes out, Your car can be your best friend.
Yep.
You can use it to charge up your phone. You can use it to stay warm. This may end up being the only heated space you have. So if you're really freezing inside, don't be afraid to come out to your car, turn the heat on, hang out, charge your phone, plug that bad boy in.
I'm in need of a charge.
There you go. You don't want to breathe in any carbon monoxide, so don't keep your car running in your garage. You know, make sure it's outside and well ventilated and stuff. But some cars even come with an actual plug where you can get creative and do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I've literally plugged my laptop into my car.
That's right, yeah.
And worked from my car the last time we didn't have power.
Yep, that's true. So you can do a lot with your car, man. It's a really good tool in a situation like this. So don't be afraid to go out there and use it. So let's crank the seat up. Sweet. So now you've played Monopoly. You've played the guitar. You've read a book.
Finish that book.
Yeah, you know, you charged your phone up, like what's going on? It's 4 hours in. Now you got to start worrying about a whole different set of things.
Yeah.
Is the food in your fridge starting to go bad? You're going to have to think about that. So we recommend getting out the cooler, taking out whatever's in your fridge that is going to go bad, meat, eggs, milk, mayo, cheese, you name it, man. Get it in a cooler with some ice. And you're way ahead of the game if you have some frozen water bottles in your freezer.
Yeah.
We always have those because we take them fishing and hiking and camping, and they're the best ice. So you don't have to worry about running out to the store and trying to score a bag of ice and all this stuff. Keep some water bottles in your freezer. You can use them. Boom. Now you have ice in your cooler. You can take care of all your food. And if you're getting hungry, cook some of that stuff right then. That's going to go bad. Don't dip into your canned goods and your Mountain House meals and like your stash for like that type of stuff. There's a bunch of different ways you can cook even when the power's out. If you have a gas stove, odds are you still have that gas when the power's out. You can use the burners, fry anything you want. Some stoves you're actually going to be able to turn the oven on if it's not like an electrical switch that turns on. If it's just like an old school dial, it should kick on. If you have an electric stove, okay, you're not going to be able to use that. So what else do you got? You got to think about, right, do you have a propane grill sitting outside? Do you have a charcoal grill sitting outside? Do you have a little camping stove you could use that hooks up to propane that you take camping? It's amazing to have camping gear in a situation like this.
All of this comes
It's survival. It's you're camping now.
Yeah.
You know, you're in your house, but you're camping.
Yeah.
So, all right, you got the grill, you got different ways to cook. Cook some of the stuff that's going to go bad, your eggs, your meat, whatever. The stuff that's in your freezer, you're going to have a few days, I think, as long as you keep the door shut.
Yeah, don't open it.
That frozen meat and stuff is going to act like ice, and it should last a few days.
Yeah.
But if you're worried about it, get that on ice too. You know, get everything nice and cool. And if it's cold out where you live, go put your stuff out in the snow. You know, just use your surroundings. It's just really about your environment.
Yeah.
Try to think about ways to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So that's huge. If you need a nice hot cup of coffee, we really recommend getting a French press. We use that for camping. You just need to find a way to boil water, whether it's your stove or your camping stove or whatever's still working, and then you got your coffee.
Yep.
Depending on where you live, you know, you're either in a cold climate or a warm climate. We're in Southern California, so it's pretty comfortable right now.
Yeah.
But when we were back in New Jersey, I needed all the tricks I could get to stay warm on those 11 nights.
Yeah.
So a few ways to stay warm, obviously, dress in layers, blankets, sleeping bags, propane heaters if you have that type of stuff. It can be a little dangerous, but if you have your gas stove, okay, you can turn your oven on, set it to 350, 400 degrees, and it's gonna add a little heat to your house.
Yeah.
If you have a fireplace, God bless.
Yeah.
That is just money right there. If you have a fireplace, you're in good shape.
You could always jump in the car too.
Oh, obviously,
Turn the heat on.
Jump in your car, turn the heat on. There's a couple little clever ways that I know also where you can make your own heater. These flower pots up here, I don't know if you can see them. It's still pretty dark in here. But if you take one of those pots and turn it upside down over a Sterno, you know, those little where buffet tables and stuff, you can use those. It'll make a little heater out of your clay pot. Or you can use a candle. You just turn that thing upside down and it's going to slowly heat up that clay for you. Instead of letting the candle heat just escape, it'll trap it. And you got a little homemade heater right there with that clay pot. So if you have a bigger house, you want to try to stick in one of the smaller rooms, you know, and like stick together. Use your body heat with whoever you are. You got 98.6s sitting around, you got candles.
Yeah.
If you're in a monster room, it's gonna be a lot harder to keep it warm.
Hand warmers, did you talk about?
No, hand warmers are great too. We use those camping, so those are great to have in your emergency kit.
Yeah.
So when you're building an emergency kit, which is basically the very first thing you should grab after your flashlight when the power goes out, that should contain all the stuff you're gonna need, like flashlights, batteries, a nice healthy assortment of batteries, AAAs, AA's, C's, D's, whatever you're possibly gonna need, headlamps, lighters, matches, candles if you can fit them in there. You can do a bunch of tea lights in there, some smaller candles. Candlesticks. You can go glow sticks that you can crack open and shake and put wherever you want for some extra light.
Yep.
All your lighting stuff right in there. What
Crank
else?
radio.
Sure, battery powered radio so you can maybe hear the news, see what's going on, you know, or hear some music because you're bored. You know what I mean? Or they sell the crank radios that are great because the one we have is a flashlight. It's a radio. It can charge your phone. It's a little emergency siren. Sure, they're great. We can link that in the description.
Yeah.
Another thing that you should have in your emergency kit, a lot of people might overlook, is cash. We're not talking thousands of dollars here, but maybe a couple $100 in small bills I would recommend because, you know, they might not be able to break 100, you know, when you go out and the power's out. But the credit card machines are probably down. And if you need ice or milk or whatever, and the stores are open, but they're just kind of like, yeah, man, we can't accept cards.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't recommend going out really when the power's out, especially if it's a severe like storm. That's why we wanted to make this video. So you're more prepared and you're home and you're sitting pretty when this type of stuff happens, instead of having to run out all frantic and try to grab stuff that you should have had already. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But if you have to, take some cash. Some bigger things like propane heaters. If you have the space and the money, God bless, generator. Go get that big gas generator. Have a storage of gasoline out in your garage somewhere. Just make sure it's safe and well ventilated and all that stuff.
A few things that we like to keep stocked in the kitchen is just Mountain House meals, canned goods, non-perishable items that we know will last a couple years.
Yeah, for sure. And that's how you prepare for long-term outages, you know, and it's like, you know, you don't have to spend a fortune, but if you get one thing, every time you go shopping or to the grocery store, just think to yourself, let me get one extra can of soup or one, you know, Mountain House or whatever. And you just stockpile that type of stuff. Water, obviously huge.
Yeah.
You know, like always get that extra case of water.
A can of beans is
anything like that.
60 cents. But it's
it's food.
Protein, it's food. It's
or even like toilet paper. You know what I mean? You saw what happened in this country when people started freaking out, you know, and buying up all the toilet paper. So it can't hurt to just stash some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying go completely nuts and build an underground bunker of, you know, listen, those people are going to be way ahead of the game if stuff ever hits the fan for real.
You don't really need a big kit or to have to spend a ton of money though to be prepared. Like, ours is pretty small and very basic.
And
but
obvious stuff.
Yeah, but it's got the stuff that we need in it and we know where it is at all times. It's just up on the shelf. It doesn't take up a lot of space and it's reliable.
And that's the point. You know where it is. It's all in one place.
Right.
So you're not running around crazy like, where are the flashlights? Where are the candles?
Yeah.
It's all there. Everything you need, at least to get you going.
Exactly.
Started. So you can have light and you can find out what's going on.
Right.
You know, it's just there. So yeah, that wraps it up, man. You know, it's obvious stuff and it's basic stuff, but sometimes it can go overlooked.
Totally.
And it's
perfect example 10 years ago when you didn't, you know.
We weren't ready for that.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, this whole thing is not to scare you. It's not to live in fear. It's just to kind of just give you a little jolt like, oh man, I don't think about that as much as I should.
Right.
So, you know, don't live in fear. Just better safe than sorry.
Totally.
Just have that stuff stashed away. Like we said, it's one emergency kit. It's a extra shelf in your pantry. It's an extra case of water in your basement. Whatever it is, you build it for yourself. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, you know, and that's it. That's what it's all about, man. So hopefully this video gave you some good ideas. Hopefully you got something out of it. And hopefully if the power ever does go out, you'll be more prepared. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. And if you're into this sort of thing, Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Later. If you want to see more videos just like this one, be sure to check out the rest of the Where We Wild YouTube channel, where we post a brand new video every week. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we post a new adventure. Thanks for watching.